Hello and welcome to another Drunken Lullabies video, everybody. Barrett here, and today I am going to show you the most OP polymer farming method here on the island of Ark Ascended. So, for this you're going to need a Pelagornis. The higher the melee the better. And we're going to come up to the top left corner of the map, over here, right into the snow biome, so that you guys can see where all the penguins are. First of all, there will be some on this little island here, right by that big iceberg. That is a fairly noticeable landmark. On my server there isn't, because there are actually two bases in the way, and they are interfering with the spawn slightly, but that is not a big deal. So heading further north into the furthest left and north you can go, so the furthest to the northwest you can go, all these icebergs here. There will be plenty of penguins on these icebergs for you to chomp. So right now there is just some penguins up here. What we can do is we can land the Pelagornis on the snow. These are a bit funny when they're not landing in water sometimes, but so you'll have to bear that in mind. You gotta land kind of above the land like that, and then you can eat the penguins. And as you can see, you actually get more than you do with a club. For some reason, the adult penguins only give you a low amount, but the baby penguins, they give you absolutely plenty. With the Pelagornis, you also don't need to harvest the bodies. Similar to the frog with the cement and paste, they will do that automatically for you. As you can see, it is sometimes a bit funny to land, so I'll skip that baby penguin for now and come down here. So as you can see, sometimes they are a bit funny to land at an angle. So we're gonna kill all these little penguins here. As I say, the baby Kairukus, they do give you a lot more. As you can see, I've already gathered nearly 1,000 organic polymer, and I've only killed a handful of the penguins that I can see. So the higher the melee on your Pelagornis, the more it will harvest from each penguin. But if we take a look after that first bunch, I have harvested 1,288. That is equivalent to about 300 on official. So that is still, even on official, quite a lot of polymer. And they are all over this first iceberg. They range all the way up here as well. This Pelagornis does have a lot of movement speed, so it is kind of a pain to hit them. I actually recommend that we don't level too much movement speed into these. But I live on Herbivore Island, so I do need to get across the map quite quickly, rather than spend all day coming over. So once you've harvested them, you're going to come over to this next little iceberg here. And there are sometimes wild Pelagornises and other wildlife on this island, so the penguins aren't always here. But you can sometimes get a colony of penguins up here on this rock. Heading further north, there is a base in the way right now, but that won't be there on most servers, and there are plenty of penguins to farm here. But this over here, at the very back and the very north of the map, this is actually the best island for the penguins on the whole map. There are usually quite a few penguins here, and you can just walk around with your Pelagornis and eat them all up for that lovely organic poly, just like so. And the best part about the Pelagornis is, if you do end up going into the water, you're not going to get dismounted. Just get myself a little bit of stamina, because he does run out of stamina quite quick, this one. Luckily enough though, after a few seconds his stamina is regenerated and you're good to go again. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're just going to walk around this island. We're going to get all of the penguins that we can find. Like this. And on 5 times harvesting rates, you're looking at about up to 8,000 polymer per run organic. So on official, you're looking at just under 2,000 polymer per run, which is not bad at all, especially on official servers where the harvesting rates are, of course, official, which is 1x. On Drunken Lullabies, we are running 5x rates, so we do get a little bit more of all the resources. But yeah, this is by far I have tested moss sharps, I have tested clubs, and this is by far the most effective way of gathering organic polymer that I have found. So we're just going to fly around the outskirts of the island first, and then we will check up top to see if any have spawned up there. Here's one on this little rock actually that we can probably get to. If my Pelagornis is going to land, and he will. But honestly, even if there are some on rocks like that and you can't land your Pelagornis, or you don't want to because you're rushed for time, you will still get plenty of organic polymer just getting the easy to reach penguins down here. So that isn't going to be a problem for you. There we go. So we will fly up to the top of this mountain now. And we'll have a little look, because sometimes a few of them do spawn up here and try and hide from you. Yep, as we can see over here, there's a few hiding up top here that we can go and most likely easily get. There we go. As we can see, there we go. So let's have a little progress check now that we have all of the ones up top on this main island too. And we have 3,500 organic polymer, and there's just a couple of places left where these penguins might be. So heading back towards the inland, you do sometimes find a couple on this little bit of ice here. It's not very common, but sometimes they are hiding out here. Again, another main place they like to be is unfortunately right by these megatheriums here. So, and the direwolves and the daedons, so they do get snapped up quite quickly by the local wildlife here. So you definitely don't always find them regularly there. Okay, so if we loop back on ourselves and take a look up on this ledge, sometimes some of them do spawn up around the edges of this white cliff. Again, there is loads of aggressive wildlife here, so these ones don't always spawn in. Sometimes they are already eaten by the wildlife by the time you get here. So then we're going to drop down below us to this next little ice patch right here. And around by all this wildlife, you will sometimes find a big bunch of penguins, but right now they don't seem to have spawned in. There was somebody farming the penguins a little bit earlier when I came, so we probably don't quite have a full spawn for the video again. But that's not a big deal. This location on other servers that haven't recently been farmed will be perfect for you. I promise there will be loads. And like I say, if the harvesting rates are 5x, you're going to come back with around 8k polymer. That is tried and tested several times by myself and Demon. So we know that it is always between 7,500 and 8,000 polymer. So unofficial, we're talking probably just a little bit less than 2k on average for a fully spawned run. And then there is just one little patch left that we can go through. Oh, here's a couple right here. These ones have literally just spawned in the time that we flew past. So we're going to take on the penguins, we're going to harvest all these ones, and we're going to try and not aggro any of the other wildlife around us, because they will do quite a bit of damage to our poor little Pelagornis here. Unfortunately, we did aggro that Calicotherium, but luckily enough it was on the very last penguin, so we can just fly away and he will leave us alone. And we're going to continue east not west, across the shoreline. And there is just one other spot where there is usually a herd of penguins. And that is here by all of these dead trees. As you can see, there are a few penguins here right now. Oh, and look at that, there are plenty of baby penguins too. So this should be a good harvest just off this one island. Again, it's not guaranteed where the baby and juvenile penguins will spawn. So they could be on any of the islands that I've just showed you. I will do a little loop back as well and show you that sometimes they respawn pretty fast and you can go back and get a second round. And that will be vital for harvesting the maximum amount of polymer. So before we harvest these last couple and we're waiting for some stamina, as you can see, I'm already at 6,000 polymer right there. So that'd be 1,200 approximately unofficial, which again is not a bad haul for the, 5 minutes we've been out here. And again, these aren't even this isn't even a fully spawned run. On a fully spawned run, I'd be expecting to get another 1,000 polymer, maybe another 200-300 unofficial. So we're going to fly back and we'll check these big icebergs again and see whether a couple of penguins have spawned in for us. Like I say, it's not always, because sometimes if you do it fast enough, they won't have respawned yet, and you can't do a second round. But if something distracts you along the way, or you disconnect, or something like that, you can sometimes come round and get a few bonus ones at the end of your run. Also, it is good just to double check because sometimes they are so small and hidden behind rocks and stuff that you don't see them. That's also totally possible. But it's looking like we have got all of the penguins available to us at the moment, which is no big deal. We still got an awful lot of organic polymer from that run. And you know, a couple of runs a day, if you put it in a preserving bin, you're in a pretty good place to continue farming. So I hope you did enjoy this video, guys. Remember to give it a thumbs up if you did. Comment below what you want to see in the next video. And if you really did enjoy it that much, subscribe so you don't miss on any of our other content. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.